Hello, everybody, and thank you for joining us on the Spy Shack podcast once again. And thank you if you were joining us just a couple of minutes ago on the New Zealand recap. We are now going to be switching gears and doing the Game Changers recap for episode 12. It's not a high without a low. Before we even talk about this episode, I do want to go ahead and say that Kim will not be joining us on this episode. We do want to say that our thoughts and our everything that of the podcast, we're all thinking of her right now. We don't want to go into too much detail, but everyone who knows her, send thoughts and prayers to her and her family. With that being said, once again, Mark is with us. Mark, how are you doing today?
I'm okay.
Yeah, it's and Randy, Randy, how are you doing?
I'm doing pretty well.
Let's go ahead and jump into episode 12 of Survivor. Like I said, it's not a high without a low. We are going back to immediately after Zeke is voted out, and we see Ty talk to everybody. And it's not even talking to his own people, right? He talks to the five that voted for Zeke and says, "So what happened? You all voted for Zeke?" And everybody says yes. And right then, without even having to ask his own people, he knows that they turned on him. Do you think that was done on purpose so he wouldn't have to get lied to by his own people, or do you think that was strategic, or do you think that was just something that just happened?
I think he was still trying to put it together. I think that's really all it was. I don't think there was any other forethought to it. I think he was just saying, so you guys voted for Zeke, so that would have to mean you guys voted for me. And they're just like, yeah, we did. And then, yeah, he's over it.
So, what happens here? I show that Sierra talks to Sarah, right? See, we've been seeing that Sarah and Sierra are pretty close, and even in the exit interviews for Sierra, she says they were close. That was something that we did not see, though. We saw some of it. I think we saw inklings of them talking about it and so forth, but they were pretty close out there. And I don't know if I think the editors were trying to hide it so that this can be a little bit more of an effect here. But I don't know, why would they hide it? I think it's worse, or it's better television if they are really close and we see that they're really close, and then what happens at the end happens.
Yeah, I don't think they were ever allies, because I don't know if they've ever voted together, but I think they just had a friendship. I think they had a lot in common. I would think they're probably pretty close to the same age. I think they just connect pretty well together. It just never happened that they could connect for the game wise. They just connected with a friendship, and I think there probably wasn't enough time to show that, which I would think they would want to show that, knowing what's going to happen.
Yeah, it helps build up the moment to me.
Yeah.
So is this the point here where Sierra tells her about the legacy advantage? Is it this early?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, it's before it's before the reward.
So she tells her, right? And goes, if you vote, did she say you vote me out, or if I get voted out?
If I get voted out.
Yeah, I'm giving it to you. Which, look, I've said it before. I don't mind sharing advantages with people, but this advantage is not one that you share with people, especially I guess you wouldn't share this with Sari because she would vote you out right away. You wouldn't share this with Andrea or with Aubrey because they would turn on you right away. I guess she had a little bit more trust with Sarah, but still letting them know that if you get voted out, you're giving them this advantage. That gets you gets you on the cutting board, chopping block. I mean, pretty quick, right?
Absolutely.
That was a big misstep.
Oh, I think it was one thing to tell her that she has an immunity idol, but it was another thing to say, but if I get voted out, you'll probably get it. Like, that doesn't give you a lot of incentive to keep you.
Which I have another thing to add to that later on for that. So let's go to the reward challenge. We already knew this was coming around. It was going to be a family visit, and from what I'm seeing, it's actually a pretty early family visit.
I think it was the same as Millennials Gen X. I think they had 9.
Was it a 9?
Mhm.
The thing is that I think that they're moving it forward to 9 because the final is going to be a final 6, and they
Yeah,
can't have it.
Yeah, with 2 weeks left on the show, we don't have time for a family visit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and the next, I'm pretty sure the next episode is going to be
Yes.
a double boot or a medevac, and I don't think
It is 2 boots, 1 hour. The press release has already said that.
so. Yeah, so 2 people are going home next week. We'll try to guess who that's going to be.
And at this point, it's already day 30, and so they're pretty deep into the game. So it doesn't really matter how many people there were going to be, but it's usually around this point where they have the loved ones visits anyways. So
yeah. So before we even start talking about this, I want to ask the chat. We have Abe, we have Geronimo, we have, I believe Doug is on there, but he hasn't said anything. But if you guys want to tell us who you think the winner should have taken on the reward, and if you think that Sari and who was it, Sarah were the right people to get taken. So we have this reward, this challenge here, where they have to. I'm forgetting what the reward is. The very first part. It was
swim. Just jump in the water and swim.
It was jump in the water, swim. They're tied together. Then get on the land, go under this this obstacle, and then go up and undo this puzzle to undo this rope to grab a key to unlock the bags to throw. Right. It's a lot of stuff going on in one challenge, which I don't mind. I like that.
Yeah.
It's just
I like those type of challenges.
It's just a lot of things going on at once. And I just remember Michaela dragging Ty everywhere around that. I mean, we already saw inklings of them not liking each other at challenges because Ty is so weak in certain challenges. He's pretty good in some challenges, but in challenges like this where he has to keep up with someone like Michaela, he's gonna get dragged around. So let's talk about the challenge overall, the design.
Can we talk first about the actual loved ones? Just any standouts of the loved ones, because I thought that obviously Monica Culpepper, she's back, which I tried. I watched it twice, and I tried to watch for any sort of interaction or eye contact between Monica and Troyzan, because One World. So I thought that was I was trying to find something there. And the other one to me is I really liked Michaela's mom. I thought she was a lot of fun. Kind of when Michaela was pouting, Michaela, quiet down, calm down. I thought that was a lot of fun. And Sari's son was a breath of fresh air out there. He was a lot of fun.
I really thought we were gonna get her husband again.
I was waiting for HB. Yeah. I was waiting for him to come back, and I think when they left her to last, I thought we were waiting for him because he's been out here before, and nope.
How many times has he been out
there? I think at least twice. I think he came in Panama and he came in Micronesia.
So let's say excluding Monica, HB has to be the loved one who's been back more than anyone
Sierra's
else.
Sierra's dad was there twice, and HB's been out there twice.
Well, I mean, I was trying.
If he would have come back again, it would have been
that's what I was trying to get to.
I think so, because we don't have all that many 3-time players, I guess, that have made that far in the game. And I think it was True Dork Times posted on I think it was that's who it was on Twitter, that all but only 5 of the seasons I think have had a family visit. I think there's only 5 that didn't have it. So sometimes they don't.
I thought there was less. I thought there was only 2 or 3.
No, I think there's 5 of them.
I remember Korong didn't have one.
Korong, I know San Juan del Sur, I know Samoa, to think off the top of my head.
And I wonder if the reason Korong didn't have a loved
Blood vs. Water didn't as well.
Oh, because I guess they're already there.
They're already there, yeah.
But I think the reason Korong didn't have the loved one visit is because they already knew this was going to get pushed back by almost a year. And keeping the lid on the contestants is already hard enough. And then to have to keep a lid on people that went out there it was going to be even harder. So I think that was the whole thing with go wrong.
I agree with that.
So yeah, so I I liked Mark kind of giving eyes to Sarah's husband.
That was really funny.
And then Mark,
I was waiting for the chicken to fly out. I was really really waiting when Ty said the love of my life, Mark. I was waiting for a chicken around that corner, so I was hoping for it so badly.
I tweeted out there and goes, did Ty find his chicken prince and he kissed him and it became his human prince? So yeah, it was good to see the inspiration from Mark Chicken. So yeah, those were
Yeah,
those were good. And then Sari's son, who he's old enough now to come back for another blood versus water, you know.
exactly.
So yeah, so the challenge, guys, not really fair for someone who's with Ty, or maybe even Sari, but I think Sari did a lot better than Ty did.
Sari was the first one underneath that log. See, and what I always think, I mean, that I would hate that. That's in any of these challenges when they have to get under those logs like that. I feel like I would feel so claustrophobic and get stuck, and that's never a thing I like seeing on those. Those always just freak me out for some reason. But the rest of the challenge was a lot of fun.
Do you know if they're allowed to go to their side to undig and then come back around?
I don't think you can reach over the wood to dig. So any digging has to be underneath it. So you have to get someone over there to start digging on that side a little bit more.
Would you want Ty to be the first one under, and then that way everyone can hurry up, or would you want him to be the last one?
You would think he was smallest, so it'd be easiest to send him over there, and then he can start digging more on that side. Like, it didn't work for Sierra because she's so tall.
Mm-hmm.
I think Andrea was over first for their team, and she got over really quickly. So, yeah, I think Ty is probably the right strategy to send under there first. It just didn't work for him.
And the thing is with Sierra is that her legs were so long that she was already trying to get out, but her legs were still like bent over the pole. So I'm like, you need to dig more.
Yeah.
And then Ty was just getting dragged. I saw Mark just like, ooh, you know, like, I wouldn't want to be dragged in front of my wife. So,
Yeah.
One thing I did ask, I asked my wife, he goes, what if I was out there and you came out there, would you want me to break down like that? She's like, no, don't break down like that. So the winners of this challenge is Brad Culpepper, Aubrey, and Andrea.
Aubrey is just cleaning up on these reward challenges.
Mm-hmm.
She gets to go on like every single one.
And she's leading in all of them.
Yeah.
So they get, and I knew this was going to happen. Well, actually I didn't know, but I was hoping this would happen.
We all expect it. Yeah.
It's not very often that the family visit is done in a team. I think or at least in my mind, it's not done in a team because you want to get them to play each other and then have that one person pick 2 or 3. This time around, a group of 3 wins, and they pick 2 more people.
I loved that. I thought that was great. I really liked it being in a team and making the team make this like non-game decision that has such game impact. I really liked that.
What would your how would you take care of this? Would you actually pick the person that you're with, or would you do something like it's going to be the most meaningful to Saria and to Sarah? What would you guys do?
On one so emotional as the family visit, it's hard not to pick your closest allies because that's almost like something that makes them want to stay with you more, that you chose them for this thing that's probably the most important reward out of any of the rewards like all season. So I understand them wanting to pick their allies. And I understand that what they did really alienated Michaela. So that would be that, and so someone that's so temperamental, that's hard to pass on that. I think I think they made the right decision. It's really hard. That was really hard because that could have ended up ugly for them and it almost did. But I think it was the right decision.
I do too. When it comes to rewards, I've always said to myself that if I was out there, and yes, guys, I actually do want to go out there, but I don't know if it would happen for me. But if I were out there, it's something that I would get with my allies and say, do not take me and everyone in our alliance to go on the reward, because you need to have some recon back in camp. And sometimes you want to be that recon, sometimes because that recon not only opens it up to so you know what's going on, but sometimes you might be able to get some extra advantage later on. You know, as far as get some social game in there that you might need later on in the game. But yeah, I like that they gave it to Suri because she missed her son's graduation.
Mm-hmm.
I like that they gave it to Sarah because she just had a baby and now she's out there. So I think they did the right thing.
Yeah.
Michaela, I kind of understand why she's upset. She went only 2 weeks back at home before she came back out. So I think everything that we're seeing out of Michaela is Michaela, but it's compounded by how recent she was out there and how fast she came back out.
No, I agree with that. I think Michaela's a hothead to begin with, and I think we all know that. And so I think she just hates to lose. And I think seeing that, but she really didn't. It was really interesting seeing everyone begging to go out there, and then she's like, "I would like to go too." Like it was just kind of weird. But I think she should have known all along that none of those people were picking her.
No, she kind of already knows that nobody likes her.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's worse that when you're out there that nobody likes you, but to know that nobody likes you, is even worse.
And the only person that does like you is pretending like she doesn't, so it doesn't look like you're a close alliance, like you're an alliance at all.
Mm-hmm. I don't know if this. The only feedback that we got was from Monica, right? Pretty much saying you need to make sure you do this, and I think she was like, you know that. She called it out. Michaela's getting ready to flip.
Yeah.
So, and like I said, my wife just hasn't watched every season. She's only started watching Survivor since we got married. So I told her, the thing is that she's made it to a final. She knows what she's doing. So, and she's pretty good at it. I don't know. I think she's a lot better player than Brad, but Brad is doing pretty good out there right now.
Well, I think Brad fully admits and will fully say that she's a better player than him.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, as you can see from the barbecue, she was very observant even during the challenge. So for her to be putting out all that strategy while they're cooking at the barbecue, it was really impressive. And if she ever comes back for another shot, I would be very interested to see how she does.
Oh, and I'm sure that's where she likes to be. I just can imagine Monica Culpepper behind the grill at their big old mansion in Tampa and having all their kids and their friends over, and she's just grilling and loving it. Like, I think she just seems so at home there and so in her element, just there at the grill. I can completely imagine that's just the way Monica likes to be.
We're getting like we said earlier, we've getting so much different view from Brad this season. This was a little bit more. He is saying he's not the great Survivor player. He admitted to the beginning that he is not. He didn't really know why he was out there as a game changer, but he takes it. He almost made it in second chance, but I think that his first season, he came off as a villain. And the thing is that perception is reality. Unless people actually know you, they're gonna think you're the villain. And we're getting a lot of people. I've said it before. A lot of people were saying the worst thing that can happen this season is that Brad Culpepper wins this. Now I'm saying, you know what? It wouldn't be so bad if Brad Culpepper won.
Yes. No, I would agree with that. And one thing that I think we finally learned what Monica would do, because she told us. So that was one thing that we got out of this episode.
Yeah. She would keep an eye out for Michaela. That's what she.
Exactly.
Aubrey's sister is out there. Sierra's what is it? Her sister as well, right?
Sierra's dad.
I mean, Andrea. I mean Andrea.
Andrea's mom.
mom.
Andrea's mom, yeah.
I am so confused right now. It's Andrea's mom's Aubrey's sister.
But they talked about Andrea's sister.
Yeah,
that
Aubrey's sister.
I did not know about Andrea's sister, that she passed away when they were in high school, when she was in high school, and I that was not a story about Andrea I knew, and it was kind of interesting because this episode on Wednesday was Andrea's birthday. This Wednesday when this live episode was going on, so I worried for her with the episode where they talk about her sister and then Anne on her birthday, and I was worried she might go with all that.
I saw that she tweeted out a story that she had done. I didn't get to read it yet, but I do plan to read it. Okay, so let's go back to camp. Pretty much back at camp, Michaela's already decided, you know what, screw this old alliance. I'm going to go and let's do this here. It's, what is it, Troyzan?
Well, it starts with just Ty.
Oh, yeah. Well, Ty and Mont. I think that's the new alliance for Michaela.
And that is such an interesting alliance to me because they're both so temperamental. Loose cannons, quick to judge. Like, it's like they I think it makes sense for those two to align. I think they were very smart to do that.
I think physically they are so different, but emotionally underneath everything all, they're really pretty much almost the same person. Maybe Ty can't lie to someone. They can't hide the lie. Michaela could lie to someone, but she can't hide it in her face. So it's like, so they're pretty much the same person. And I'll have a theory of what's going to happen with Michaela and Ty later on. So Michaela and Ty, they become bond. They bond. They go back to the water. They say, you know, this is it right here. We're going to go after, who are they going to go after? Andrea, because Andrea is the biggest threat to them to win it all. And, you know, no one's pointing a finger at Suri.
Yep. Yeah, that's crazy to me. And I think I read this on Twitter that so Sierra Easton got 9 votes in the first episode, and Suri has 9 votes against her in her whole career. I think is what it was, which I thought was really interesting. But yeah, I can't believe Suri's name has never come up. But I think when a time when Andrea is a big target, and if she were to win immunity, that's when Suri's name comes up. Kind of like how Sierra's did on this episode when Brad won immunity.
Yeah. So we get back. Everyone comes back together, and who is it? Michaela goes up and talks to Sarah about possibly turning on Andrea. And you know, I to think to Sarah's credit is that she's so willing to listen to everybody and make it look like you know, that's a good idea. But what about this? And she tells her about the legacy advantage without adding the fact that the legacy advantage is passed down,
transferable.
Yeah. And the thing is that Michaela was not there long enough to know about that lie would not have worked with Zeke. So yeah,
I thought that was smart.
So Sarah, right away after being told everything that happens, she works on the tribe to help vote out Sierra, and it looks like I guess we can go to the immunity, which was I already forgot the immunity.
An awful, most boring,
yes,
stupid challenge I've ever seen on this show. Like this was really weak.
That's all weak it was, is that I forgot what it was. But now
at least they're trying something new.
But it's the same thing.
Yeah, it is the same thing.
It's new, but it's the same thing. It's combining them standing on the dog houses in the water by balancing on those little things, and it's the same sort of challenge that Malcolm lost in Philippines, where he had to hold the pieces of the bar together. It's the same idea, but it was more boring.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, didn't this used to be like the final 3 challenge kind of thing, where like you're holding an arrow or
for Malcolm's it was their final 4 in Philippines that he lost. that he even had 2 chances at because he had the advantage.
Mm-hmm.
But I wish they were more physical. Like, I just wish these challenges were a little bit more physical, or like an obstacle course type thing. Those are my favorite. And I like the ones that go from, like, maybe we'll see it next week. You go from 8 to 4 to like you know what I mean? Like, there's like tiers in the challenge.
Mm-hmm.
I like those too. Like, I wish there was more stuff like that.
That's the type of challenge I like. The mazes. I love the mazes.
Oh yeah.
My favorite challenge of all time is the vertical maze from Vanuatu. That is my favorite of all time. I like what I do miss is the storytelling challenge where Jeff would tell the story and then they had to go answer it. I really like that one. I mean, the first time we heard it, Rudy, I don't know. He wasn't paying attention.
I think the last time we saw that was Cambodia.
Yeah.
We saw that because I know Steven won that in Cambodia.
I swear he
was
got
was that reward or immunity? I don't remember exactly, but I remember Steven won.
Yeah, and is that where he got the no? Someone got an advantage in that, didn't they?
That someone found an idol or a clue to the idol. I think it was Kelly.
Yeah. So I don't know why we're not seeing that anymore. It's I want to see more of that type of challenge. I feel it's more dramatic than just holding something together, and hopefully we get a little bit more clarification as to why we're not seeing that type of challenge. I don't know. Chat, what do you guys think? We did have something going on in the chat when we're talking about Michaela. Abe is a big fan of Michaela at this point. I think it's a cool alliance for her to be in. And then Randy, you said you're a big fan of Michaela. Abe says, as am I. I really only excited to see Sander, Varner, Troysen, and Michaela back this season. Needless to say, I've been disappointed with the overall results. As have I.
Mm-hmm. Hey, I think we're seeing things turn around, and I like seeing. There's a couple of these people that are still in there that I'm a big fan of. That I like seeing them this far in the game.
Mm-hmm. Doug says they need a challenge overhaul overall. All of the endurance and all the obstacle courses are familiar at this point. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe we're just so used to it that it's getting boring.
Yeah.
But like, it's not entertaining to see someone hold. Even back in Cambodia, they had all the ball challenges with Keith. You know, when he's playing with the ball like that. But at least those had something. Ball savvy. There you go. The ultimate ball savvy survivor. So yeah. Right away, people go out, and I think 4 people went out in the span of 30 seconds or something like that. And Brad Culpepper wins his very first immunity challenge. And Jeff made a big deal about it, but I saw someone post that he's only had 5 immunity challenges on his own. So on the individual.
And Brad did not want to make a big deal about it. He wanted it to be very low key to not look like a big threat.
Yeah. Do you think that Brad's been holding back so far? Or is it just that hasn't been to his strengths so far?
I don't think any of the individual immunities so far have been to his strengths. The only one I think he really had a chance at was the one that Troyzan won with holding the rope, and Brad probably got second in that one. He was close. He's not going to get any of these ones where you have to hang on to something because he's a bigger guy. He's too heavy. So he's not going to win those. So I don't think he really has had one that he could win yet. But there is a extended interview where he does talk about how he tried to downplay his win. Yeah,
I think he knows more than anything that, first of all, he was a target because he was seen as a villain, and I think some of these people already knew him and they know he's not as the villain type. And he was really upset that he was cast as a villain. And I think he really wanted just for us, the viewers, to see him in a different light. And he knows that strong players are targeted, especially in the individual part. So he doesn't want to come off as very strong.
Agreed.
So let's go to Tribal Council. Pretty much everything that happens before Tribal Council, we've already had a couple of minutes to talk about it already. Any surprises in Tribal Council at all for anybody?
No, everyone kind of stuck to the script, which has been pretty common this season, that everyone goes in there talking kind of not really speaking the truth, just speaking what everyone else thinks. I really appreciated the line where Sierra and Andrea are basically saying, we're being told the same thing. The key is one of us is being lied to, and I guess we'll find out. Like, I thought that was really cool. Like, they just admit it. They both know, yeah, it's one of us too. One of us is getting lied to.
So did you like the we to me thing?
Yeah, that was cool.
Jeff Probst loved it. The second Michaela said it, he went with it. He loved that.
I was like, that's gang signs where I'm from.
I just keep thinking, get ready to see that in season 36 as a puzzle.
at final 5 or final 6.
Yeah, that'll be the puzzle words.
It's going to be the one that takes an hour to solve. We don't need
exactly.
What I really liked about Sarah at the tribal council is that, and it's something that she's been doing the last couple of weeks, she's ready to flip, but she gives it the straight answer that she's not going to do it. She doesn't give anything up. So I want to ask you guys who's watching here, what do you think of Sarah's game so far? Great, average, not so good, not a chance to win at all. What do you guys think? My theory is that she's going to end up getting with Michaela and Ty, and she's going to ride them to the final. And I don't think Michaela or Ty have a chance to win this game.
No, I think Sarah, this episode especially, was great. I think her game all season has been good. I think there's a couple of social things that she needs to clean up a little bit, because I think she is rubbing some people the wrong way when she does flip on them, especially seeing some of the. What's interesting is CBS released the juror thoughts after this episode, and kind of what their thoughts were, and we usually don't see that for a while, so that was kind of interesting to see that. How I think Zeke even said, I think Sarah's the front runner, but she has definitely needs to work on her social game because some people are upset with her. So it sounds like that's a common thing that's being going on at Ponderosa. They see her game as strategic, but her social game is lacking. But I think this episode, she was great. Just tying up loose ends with Sierra, like, we're good, right? You're going to give me the legacy advantage. And then going immediately over to Michaela and convincing her to vote out Sierra instead of Andrea. That was huge. Like that, and she did it so nonchalantly and just said, well, obviously we need to do this, this, and this because that's going to get rid of an idol, and kept the rest to herself. Like, I thought she did a really good job with her approach to this episode, especially.
Not only that, when Sierra gets voted out, she sits there and she's like she's shocked at what happened.
Yeah, I'm wondering how that's going to play with Andrea, because she played the shocked game for Sierra's benefit. I wonder who voted for you. You better still give me that advantage. I don't know. I voted the right way. But then Andrea kind of sees it and it's like, what are you doing? Like, why are you confused right now? We just won the vote 6-3. Like, why are you acting weird? So I'm intrigued to see how that goes over when we get in the next episode.
What's going to happen is Andrew's like, so what was that going on?
No, what are you doing?
You're out. What up?
Yeah.
You're out of here. So Sierra gets voted out 6-3. And I actually thought that she was going to vote for Andrea just to make it look even further that she didn't orchestrate this.
Oh, you thought Sarah would?
Yeah. But I think she voted for Sierra not knowing for sure what Ty was going to do. I think that's a good point. I think she knew that Michaela was going to do it, but I don't know if she knew Ty was going to do it.
Yeah.
So let's just talk a little about Sierra. Sierra was on Kim's team. What did you guys think of Sierra this season?
She was an improvement over her last season. I think she said in the beginning of the season she planned to play hard. And seeing her Ponderosa video, she comments that she had strategic talks every day. She wanted to make moves, and I think she did. I think she really achieved her goal of playing the game instead of being drugged to 5th place like she did in Worlds Apart. So it was a definite improvement. I would be fine seeing her back. I think she fits a role in Survivor, and I think that I'm glad she's gone because I really wanted to break up the Sierra Brad alliance. But I thought she was a pleasant surprise for me on the season.
I agree here. She's definitely, you can definitely see much more of her this season than you could in her previous season.
Yeah.
And I thought overall her gameplay is much stronger, although some of the decisions she made were a little fishy, especially, that legacy advantage decision. But yeah, her third time is going to be very interesting.
Yeah, I was really upset to hear that she was coming on.
Yeah.
Because of who was
because of the
removed.
situation.
Well, because
I
who was
agree.
removed, or not removed, but who was had to pull out because of it. And because Natalie Anderson is one of my favorite winners, one of my favorite players, even if she hadn't won that season. And for her to have been on getting ready, she was days away from leaving, and she hurts her knee, and her doctor pulls it out.
It was
pulls her out.
No, it was she had a scar. It was they were worried about the infection. It was her dermatologist.
Oh, I see. I heard her say it was her knee.
No, that for the reason she got pulled was because she had this really bad cut.
Wow.
And it was like on her face, I think, too. And it ended up being her dermatologist is what made the call, which I thought was kind of interesting.
Okay, so that's different from what I read. But
yeah, they're worried about infection.
Yeah, so I understand, but she was willing to go still. So even Sierra admits, I don't know what I'm doing here. I don't think I fit the role of a game changer. So now I have to go out there and do something. She wanted to show us, like just much like Brad did. She wanted to show us why she was out there. And I think she did an okay job. I think she did a lot better than she did the first time. But I think at the very end, she played way too hard. When the merge happened, she went from here and took it way up here when she should have just tried to stay low, and maybe she would still be there. Her alliance might have not flipped on her. So yeah, that's Sarah. I wouldn't mind if she came back if she improves some things in another. I don't know if she'll ever come back. Abe doesn't like her.
Yeah, I wouldn't say I'm like excited to see her back, but I wouldn't be mad at it.
Yeah,
especially if they were to do like a third time's a charm sort of season where there's a limited amount, but there's a lot of people I'd rather see than her in the Survivor pool. But I think she was fine. She tried to pull a Wentworth and didn't get to that level.
It's very hard to pull Wentworth though. So
yeah.
My brother hopes Sarah wins it all. Doug says Sarah needs to lay low the next 2 votes and then realize her insane advantage combo.
I think that's very smart. Is that she needs to quiet down a little bit, just to not be in the center of it all. When I agree completely with Doug on that one.
So if she gets to 6, she's immune right now. She can take a vote from someone and make sure someone else gets out of there.
Yeah, but that part, the second she says, I would like to use my extra vote, everyone's pulling out their idols. So I don't really think the extra vote's going to be all that useful with three other idols in play. I think the second there's any whiff of this extra vote, especially if, I want to take a vote from Troyzan, he's going to play his idol. So I don't know if it's as powerful. I just think I think the vote steal is easily like killed.
I think all the idols getting played somewhere.
Yeah.
I think every single one is going to get, and I even brought it up on one of my chats that I have. It's like, can you imagine if she uses both advantages, the idols get played, all of a sudden we have a 1v1 tie. What the hell's going to happen? Yeah. And I think we talked about it last week too, right?
Rock draw.
And in the words that RHAP keep using, advantage again is coming.
Advantage again. That's good. I don't know. I don't know what's gonna happen. So yeah. let's
show
go.
the draft real quick.
Yeah, let's go
Yep.
to see how I am making a comeback to third place at least.
Are you? I don't see that.
I feel like I should get extra points again for another advantage for my player.
He's always asking for extra points. So here we are. We have Mark is still well in the lead with 145 points. Still with 3 people: Andrea, Ty, and Troyzan. So keep in mind he also will get points for when they play their idols. So that's some extra bonus points coming his way. Kim is in second with 130 and left with 3 people as well. She has Sari, Aubrey, and Brad. I am in third place, holding tight with Michaela. And Saul is in fourth with Sarah, which he has potential to pass me if Sarah does really well at the end, which is possible. So I'm just hoping Michaela's there with her.
All right, so I'm going for third, guys. I'm going for third. We have a comment by Doug. Only one idol needs to be played as long as Sarah and the idol player don't win the immunity. We didn't even talk about immunity. And they can force someone out a la Cambodia style, where Keith gets forced out.
No, I agree with that there is potential at Final 6 for someone just to be left out. Because we have 3 idols and the legacy idol and individual immunity. That's 5 ways of safety. So there is a chance of one person just being the odd man out at Final 6.
They're just going to be like, do we even need to read the votes? There's
If everyone plays them, you don't have anything around your neck, you're gone.
Yeah.
So I think that's kind of interesting.
And unfortunately, I think it's going to be Suri. I think that's how Suri's going to get booted.
I worry about that for Aubrey with her quiet edit that she's going to go out. Something that worries me for someone like her.
I keep forgetting Aubrey is in the season.
Yeah.
I love Aubrey. I really do.
Yeah. One thing I heard is Josh Wigler had, I don't know if he reported it or it was on a podcast that he did. He said that CBS has tried to do something this season to mitigate a bitter jury. I don't know what it is.
Well, there was a question that was asked on the most recent RHAP that was asked by, I don't know who asked, but Josh was the one who spoke on it. Okay. And all he said was there isn't anything that was actually done that, to Josh's knowledge, from his words. He just said that because we got to think that this came right after the Go Wrong finale. There was when 2 weeks, or not even 2 weeks after that, they left for to tape this season. So nice. I think that was when Jeff Probst was at his bitterest, because he's not a fan of Michelle Fitzgerald. So I think that Jeff made some comments, but it doesn't sound like anything was particularly done.
Okay.
I think there's just comments made about it, from my understanding.
Let's talk about next week on Survivor.
It's a confusing preview.
Yeah.
I don't really understand. Michaela's talking about blackmailing Brad and talking about not letting him search for idols. Yeah. And then Sari has to make a decision.
I think it's Brad that says, "Are you blackmailing me?"
Yeah.
Because I think she's saying, "Hey, go fish. Go catch fish," and then she's like, "At least I know he's not searching for idols if he's out there." You never know. I don't want to be in the ocean. Something. Yeah,
it was a weird, but you see a little bit of Sari that kind of makes me laugh, of her just being like, "Can I get away with this?" Like, you see Sari's up to something, and which I like seeing.
Sneaky Sari is always the best Sari.
Yeah,
and we've seen her a couple of times this season, not to the point where it blows anything up, but at least it helps sway things,
Yeah.
We'll see if it ends up being that she helps blow something up or it ends up imploding on her. But either way, I think watching Suri do that is going to be awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So who do y'all think is going next week?
Well, as we said at the beginning, it is a 2-boot 1 hour episode. So we will be losing 2 people. I think one of them has to be Andrea. I hate to say it, and I feel like I've been saying it for weeks, but I think it's bound to be Andrea. I think her luck will run out. And the other one, will be Aubrey. I just think with a two episode thing, I would think it's got to be someone quiet. You know what I mean? Someone not as well seen. Last year when we saw this, it was Will Wall and Sunday. So were the two that went out. I think I read that Troy Zan only has 9 confessionals all season. So I think that there's potential.
And
for
they were
him.
in the very beginning.
Yeah, so I don't know. I think somewhere within Andrea, Troy Zan, and Aubrey is where I'm leaning.
I am almost like right when you said that, who did I think it was gonna go? The two names that came up in my mind were Andrea and Aubrey. So
Yeah,
Andrea cannot dodge that target forever. She's got to go one of these next couple of tribals, and just Aubrey. I mean, I love Aubrey. Whenever there's a scene with her, she's always so much fun to watch. But there hasn't been a lot of her this season. I think she's gonna go as quietly as she came in.
yeah.
So there's that. And will Troy's gonna get blindsided with an idol in his pocket? I don't know. Maybe he'll go in
That'd
like
be
the second part or something.
That'd be wonderful. I would love to see that.
I think it's Andrea for sure. I think the other person's either going to be Aubrey or Suri, and it's going to depend on what Suri is up to and if she gets caught or not. So
if we lose Andrea and Suri in one episode, that is heartbreaking.
Yeah. Michaela might go as well.
I can't see it. I don't see where the numbers happen to make that happen. If Brad does something, it could be somewhere with an idol. Something happens and Michaela goes out. I just don't see the numbers of the majority going against her right now.
Okay.
I think Michaela and Ty both make it to the end, and Ty gets a no vote again. For
the record, I still thought he was going to be the first boot of the season. I just want to bring that back up. But I also said Andrea was going to win, so I feel pretty good about that.
I picked Andrea.
Yeah, I think we had the same.
Andrea.
I think we had the same picks of Andrea and Ty as our winner and loser.
Yeah. So both of those.
Go ahead.
Both of those are on Mark's team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do want to say is happy day 39 to season 35. Today is day 39 and they're taping.
Oh wow!
So they might be at Tribal Council as we speak.
They made a big decision today, so that should be interesting when that season comes up. I think people just think we'll see more about themes and casting here soon. That's really, as far as spoilers go, that's all I can. I don't look at anything else besides names of who's on it and the theme. I usually try to avoid everything else.
I think next season we're gonna do open the draft to the audience, right?
Yeah, we'll do a little bit more with that. I think people that are interested, I definitely will be doing something like that. Gabe's question about do you guys know anything about the theme of 35? I've been hearing Worlds Apart. I've been hearing blue collar, white collar, no collar. Some people are trying to say it's political.
Oh,
no, I don't think
no.
I can confirm that it is 3 tribes.
Okay.
18.
Okay, so I had heard something about maybe being a blood versus water, but if 3 teams, 3 tribes, I don't think it's gonna happen.
I think definitely 35 at least is starting with 3 tribes.
I gotta say, guys, I don't like 3 tribe setup. It's too many tribes to be jumping around to, and I like it 2 tribes. We have more time with each tribe and get to know them better.
Well, at least it's 3 tribes of 6, not 3 tribes of 8, right?
That's true. That's true. Yeah. Okay, guys, we're gonna go ahead and leave it there. You guys let us know once again what you guys like about the podcast. Well, how can we improve? Subscribe, hit that little bell on YouTube there so you can be notified each time we go live, each time we do anything or post anything new. Like I said in the New Zealand podcast, we have some good news to tell you guys, but we're gonna keep it under the wraps. So we'll let you guys know.
Get excited, people. Get excited.
Yes. So and we're hoping for some other things to happen, not only with this one, but with the New Zealand one. You guys stay tuned, and we'll let you guys know more as it comes up. All right, guys. We're gonna go ahead and leave it there, and we'll see you guys next time.
Yeah.
Bye, guys.